YouTube. Yes, sir. And yes, ma'am. Truckers and trucker gals worldwide. Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, your mans, your royals, the often imitated, never duplicated, the one and only Enrique Prince, also known as Prince the Trucker, reporting to y'all live from Towanda, Kansas, this Thursday, January 9th, 2025. It is currently 1:50 p.m. And before we get into the royal conversation topic and sharing perspectives, I definitely have to thank all of the new subscribers here on the channel, all of the returning subscribers here on the channel, for viewing the content, dropping the like button, dropping your opinions, questions, experiences, stories. You guys just don't know how motivating it is for me to read and be able to respond to as we're traveling these interstates daily, doing our job and dropping this freight across the Americas. It is highly appreciated. So shout out to my OG drivers. Shout out to the new drivers that are coming into the industry this year, just getting out of school. You are highly appreciated. You dig? With that being said, let's get into the video. Yee! All right, YouTube, we are back here with another video and point of view for you all to enjoy out there. Thank you for being here. It is your boy, your man, your royals, Prince the Trucker. And wow, what do we have here? We are in the winter months, y'all. We are in the winter season, and this is pretty much my first drive since I have been back on the road experiencing these type of weather conditions. And I just wanted to offer a couple of pointers for the new drivers coming into the industry. You know, a couple videos back, and the general conversation over YouTube, right, is that people like to always share the highlights of the trucking life. They never want to get into the nasty, the nitty gritty, the weather, the things that you're going to encounter when you're out here on the road. So I definitely wanted to take this opportunity to show you my point of view and let you guys know that I'm dealing with it too. You know, this is my first time driving in these conditions since I've returned to the truck. And luckily, you know, I have a couple of winter seasons under my belt already. Initially, when I got my CDL, I worked in the oil fields of Oklahoma. And as you can imagine, if you're from that area, Oklahoma, Texas, you know, you get a lot of adverse weather conditions through those areas. And again, I was in the oil field, so we were transporting heavy equipment intrastate from Oklahoma to Texas. At that time, I didn't do all 48 states. It was mainly just fracking operations and moving from wells that were located in Oklahoma and Texas. But nonetheless, if you come from these areas, then you know that the weather can be pretty bad. So aside from the 3 seasons that I did in the oil field from Oklahoma to Texas, as you guys might know, I also drove for Covenant Transport, which is a teaming company out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's where their main terminal is located. They also have a terminal in Pomona, California. Well, they did have a terminal. I heard things have changed as of recent times. But at the time when I was driving, I would deploy out of Pomona, California, and then, of course, go wherever I needed to go across the 48, and eventually end up in the corporate terminal in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So with the 3 years of oil field experience and driving for Covenant, about 2 winter seasons, I have about five winter seasons under my belt. And even though I haven't been in the truck as of recent, the last 4 years, and I'm just getting back into the game, seeing these conditions today and remembering the times that I used to drive in these conditions really just brought me back and gave me a new perspective on how serious it can be out here when traveling in snow in the winter season. So I just wanted to talk about it with you guys, especially if you're a new driver on the importance of a couple things, and certain factors that you may want to consider when you're driving in the winter. Now, before we get into breaking down the conversation of driving into the winter season, I definitely want to address the new drivers that are inexperienced coming out here on the road that may be experiencing the winter season for the very first time. It can be overwhelming, right? It can be nerve-wracking. It can put a lot of pressure on you as a driver, not seeing or even experiencing these type of conditions. But one thing you need to always keep in mind that's very, very important, and I'll say this to any driver, and any driver will say this to you. Remember, no load is worth your life or the life of the people around you. I'm going to say that again. If you are an inexperienced driver coming out of CDL school, you are going to feel the pressures of seeing something that you've never seen or experienced before. And you might be confident, you might be unconfident, but always keep in the forefront of your mind that you're new, you're learning, and no matter how you choose to react to the situation, remember, no load is worth your life or the life of anyone else. You got it? When I talk about the pressures of whatever your situation may be, it is definitely tied to whether you're working for a mega carrier, an independent owner operator, a smaller company. Everyone's situation as a driver and the expectations of that driver are going to be different, right? So some of you may be coming out of school, you're from the East Coast, and you get on with a company in the winter season and they tell you, I don't care if it's 2 feet of snow on the ground, you know what I mean? We need you to chain up and we need to get you to the shipper or receiver, and you need to drop that load. But here you are, shaking in your boots, thinking to yourself, I don't know if I can do this. You know, you need to establish within yourself your limits and what you know you're capable of doing. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? That is why you're considered an inexperienced driver. You have not been through these scenarios before, okay? So don't feel any less of a driver. Don't feel like you have to come out of your body to prove to companies or even these other drivers on the road that you're a super trucker. You know, if you're confident in your skill set, and, you know, because people learn on different levels. And if you're a responsible driver, you have the intellect to know that, hey, in these conditions, I need to be doing at least 30, maybe even 40 below the posted speed limit. Go for it. You know, if you're that confident and you have the information and knowledge to build that confidence and drive 1 mile at a time and gain that experience by the second, I definitely encourage that. You know, but do not feel pressured by any company to go outside of what you know you're capable of. I will say this though, as a professional driver, at some point, you do have to get out there. You do have to challenge yourself. Of course, as always, you want to do this in a safe and proper manner. But you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone if you do want to gain that type of experience. You're going to have to get that rig onto the road to know what it feels like to navigate in the winter season. You have to be aware enough to see how your trailer responds according to your weight. If you're light and you have an empty trailer, you've got to know that, man, any slip in the road, it's like feather into a high breeze. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be sliding all over the place. There's nothing really holding me down and connecting me to this road to prevent me from sliding all over the place. That's what I mean by experience. You have to chop each individual piece of knowledge that you have together in order to come to an executive decision, in order to come to a professional conclusion. If these companies are pressuring you to get out here and you've considered your weight, you're looking at the road as you're warming up your truck, you walk away from the spot, you go to the asphalt or the concrete and you look down and you see a layer of ice forming on the road, and you're like, I don't think this is such a good idea, because of common sense and you willing to go out there and seek the information. You can't do that with the curtain closed and a cup of hot cocoa next to your bed. You know what I mean? You kind of have to want to take on the challenge of driving every mile and going through that experience. So even though you want to have your inexperience in mind, the safety aspect of the job in mind, you also want to add value to yourself by being willing to learn. If you get out there and there's a situation where you conclude that, hey, I can't do this, my truck's sliding all over the place, you know, I'm seeing other trucks, you're looking at the behavior of the trucks and the traffic around you, and they're having a hard time, and that anxiety and pressure is building up within you, stop that rig. You know? Again, no load is worth your life or the life of anyone around you. But as you challenge yourself in an educated and safe way, you will start to build the confidence that is necessary to go through the experience. Now, you might be saying, hey, Prince, I hear you, man. You know, I'm digging what you're saying. But what are some of the things that I can do to ensure that I'm setting myself up to build that confidence and just know that everything is going to be okay once I hit the road? That's a good inquiry. The first thing you should do is plan properly. Make sure you're looking at that BOL. Don't just be typing addresses into your GPS. Do your homework while you're on that 10-hour break at the truck stop. And you know you're about a state away that can possibly, in the wintertime, produce heavy snow, black ice. I definitely suggest downloading the Weather Channel app. If you've been around long enough, you already know the Weather Channel app is A1. You know what I'm saying? You can type in the name and the city. It's going to give you weather conditions each hour, what it's most likely to have, whether it's rain, clear skies, fog, whatever the situation is. You want to prepare ahead of time so you're not blindsided when you cross that state line. Planning your trip and knowing what is ahead of you is very important and will give you the sense of security of contacting your dispatch and saying, hey, I might be able to make it up to this point, but you know, we might have to schedule the drop-off time because I'm seeing here off of my research that might be 10-hour wait or black ice. I might have to pull the rig over. You know, you're adding value to yourself. You're showing the company that you are a professional and you're assessing the situation before you take off. That is one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself. Know what is coming ahead before you get there. That is, once again, going to give you the confidence and the awareness to be able to know what you're coming into and how to adjust appropriately. Very important. Now, another point that is just as important as planning properly, knowing what's ahead of you before you get there so you can move safely and confidently, is respecting the conditions of the road in these winter seasons. Respecting the rig. Respect the rig and the conditions out here. If you know there's snow on the ground, potential of black ice, slippery roads, decrease your speed. Have respect for this big piece of machinery and the conditions. It only takes one slip, one slide for you to be able to lose control and take that ride. Don't be getting off the interstate on these off ramps, on these on ramps at 60 miles an hour, and it's posted 40 miles an hour, and you think you somehow finna slide around that corner without incident or accident. Take your time. Identify the dangers of wet roads, snowy roads, and black ice. Familiarize yourself with these terminologies. It'll help you in the long run. Respect the roads. Don't be overconfident. Have some confidence, because you're going to need the confidence to gain the experience. But don't be overconfident. Slow down. Don't worry about seeing that next driver pass by you at 70 miles an hour and think you can do it, because they're doing it. You're the captain of your ship. You're the one that's gaining the experience. You want to get home safe and sound to your family. All right? So, challenge yourself. Do it in a safe way. Establish communication with your dispatch. Let them know the situation. Do your homework. Respect the roads and the people around you. And enjoy it. Winter season is a beautiful season, but you must respect it. And if you enjoyed the conversation, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I am the Oft-Imitated, Never Duplicated, the one and only Enrique Prince, also known as Prince the Trucker. I look forward to speaking with you guys in the next video. Once again, let me know your thoughts, comments, experiences, and stories down below. I'm going to catch you guys and gals on the next one. Safe driving. God bless. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here. You do understand that though, right? We'll see you in the next one. Peace.